I bet you're curious to know where in the Raleigh area is everyone moving in 2024 to. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the top 5 best areas outside of Raleigh that I think everyone has their eyes on. Now, this list may surprise you because it does not consist of Cary, Apex, or Morrisville. Now, if you're new to me in this YouTube channel, we talk about everything you need to know about Raleigh, North Carolina, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out. But also, I am a licensed realtor here, so if you need any assistance with your relocation, just reach out. But before we get into the meat and bones of the video, I do have one ask to make. There's this one place on this list that I think everyone has their eyes on, and I want to know, do you think you can guess the right one? As I mentioned earlier, Cary, Apex, Morrisville is not on this list, and that is not to say that people are not paying attention to those markets. Quite frankly, those markets they're the most popular. Everyone is moving there in influx for several different reasons. I just felt it's more important to give you guys some other areas to take a look at because honestly, you should already know about those areas given everyone talks about it. Everyone wants to move there for simple reasons of, prime location. Can you be mad about that? It's really close to RTP, the airport, top tier schools. What more do you really need? But if you don't really care about those areas, you're going to want to hear what I have to share next. So to kick things off, the first one on this list is Wake Forest, and I was honestly shocked to see Wake Forest on this list. I was doing some research and I saw U-Haul actually put out an article that states they always do this every year where the top growth markets are, whether it's the city down to the, really the metro. And of course Raleigh was on it, and I happened to see Wake Forest and I was just like, wow, Wake Forest made this list. I'm very shocked because me personally, Wake Forest to me is already established, developed. People should already know about it. I guess because it's kind of further out north of Raleigh, that's probably why it's not really on the foresight of many individuals. But that's an entire market that I think that does kind of get pushed down more than it should because it already has a lot of things there. To give you a little bit of insight, I don't think they have a Costco there yet, but it's currently in talks and conversations of there being one. So there's still room of growth and opportunities in that market. However, it does come with, that's why I say this. I'm shocked that it's on this list because it does come at a pretty penny. This is not one of those areas that, you're going to get for a bargain, I would bargain to say. Simply because, again, it's already really developed in my personal opinion. I think if you go to Wake Forest, you don't really need to be in Raleigh or go to Raleigh unless if you just have some sort of different means that you must go to Raleigh for. For certain is we know that, of course, knowing the area is great, but what is going on in that city or town is even more important. So here we are on greatschools.org, and where I want to be able to share with you guys what's going on within the schools, at least in Wake Forest, and we'll touch upon those other areas. But if we go ahead and check out to see what's going on in elementary school, this is going to show you the top 5 schools within that city or town, suburb, whatever you want to call it within itself. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the middle school, and you can see as well they kind of list out, and I highly recommend, just when looking at this list of the elementary school, middle school, or even the high schools, to go ahead and put it into the Google's map or something of that nature to see where are these schools located, to give yourself an idea. And if I even take it a step further, let's go see which school is best prepared to allow someone to go to that, have like they mentioned here, right, the College Success Award. And we can see these 3 schools here that does hold that crown. Then we have Fuquay-Varina. Now, I was actually excited to see this on the list because Fuquay-Varina is one of those places that it's small. It's a really small town, really rural feel at the moment. You don't have too much going on there. I personally can see a lot of development going on in the next couple of years or so. There was actually, I believe it's Target that just mentioned that, yes, they will be actually putting one of their sites, I guess, there. I don't know what it's going to look like or anything. You can find all that information online. But just to kind of give you insight, there's growth there, right? So it makes a little bit more sense why this is one of the top 5 places outside of the Raleigh area, because there is growth and there's opportunity there, and it's not going to be one of those areas that's going to take a run for your money, depending on, of course, what you really like and what you don't like and what your budget really looks like. However, this is one of those areas that I was excited to see because it's needed. All right, the further out you go in Raleigh, at least at this current moment, there's not much development going on because all of it is really focused on at least inside that 540 belt line. So to see that the growth is happening outside of it, it's really good for those individuals that just don't want to be in that Raleigh area. However, I have to add to this too. Fuquay Arena still has the troubles, still has some of the pain that's going on there. One of them is, of course, being a smaller town and having an influx of individuals moving there, whether it be now or later. The roads are just not right then and there. Again, a lot of the tension is in Raleigh right now. So if you can, kind of sit through a little bit of pain, this is a great area to really take a look at. If it's going to be a smaller town feel, nothing close to what you're going to get in Cary, Apex, Morrisville, or even Raleigh. So something to keep an eye on if you need a smaller town feel or a smaller community is what I would say. Let's now look at the Fuquay Arena school system and see what's going on there, and look at their top 5 as well from the elementary school level that you can see here. And then we'll go to middle school, which, like I mentioned, it's not a big area, so to only see one, that's quite impressive. I'm actually shocked. I thought there would be at least more than one, but there you go. So it's middle school and high school. You don't have much of a choice there. So, but let's go see what they have going on for the college success. And of course, because there's only one high school there, it's got to come down to one. Let's actually pull it up here real quick, and so you guys can see a little bit more about the school in itself. So if you ever use if you ever use greatschools.org, you can actually look to see what it is that they actually look at and how do they actually rank it. You get additional information on this. Please use this as your resource, because I think it's a good one. It gives you a lot of information that you can go ahead and check out to see if this is a good school that you would like to send your kiddo to. And the third one on this list is Clayton, and I didn't mention this earlier, but this list is not in any particular order. It's just how I'm going through it. But this being Clayton, is one of those smaller town feels too, so it's very not similar to Fuquay Arena, but I would say it's kind of neck and neck with it. I think personally speaking, Clayton has a little less than Fuquay Arena. So if you're looking for something more, you don't need to be close, because again, if you look at the distance between Raleigh and Clayton, it is quite the distance. So if you don't need to be in Raleigh, you work from home, this is probably a great opportunity. If you work from home, you don't necessarily need to be in the hustle and bustle of Raleigh. You can honestly care less, then this may be a place that you really look at. Just know, again, it's going to be a little bit of pains that's going along that journey of being there. Looking at Clayton now, and I failed to mention with the other ones, this, at least Clayton, is going to be in Johnson County. It's not going to be in Wake County. You're going to want to understand at least the county that it's in as well, because that could play a huge factor in terms of your search, maybe even your job location. So Clayton being in Johnston, this school is going to be different, of course, on all boards. But here is the elementary school list for the top 5 in the city. And we go ahead and take a look at the middle school. And last but not least, let's go ahead and take a look at the high school. So there's only 2 here, so of course we can only imagine these 2 as well will be. Ooh, got me there. I thought they both was gonna be on that list. No, we only have Cleveland, but they're both 4s. So why isn't Clayton high there? I don't know. Let's go check to see how ready do they actually prepare their individuals or the kiddos. Okay. So yeah, you see that? That we got something here. It says 7 here, and they have 6 here, but they didn't want to put it here. All good, but this is why I think it's important to do your research, to understand, to really don't take anything for what it is, to really dive deep into the information to help yourself identify what is going to be the best fit for you and your family, especially the kiddos. But at this point, if you have questions about the areas I just discussed or any other areas, that number that you do see popping up right there, make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends, and let's talk through what questions that you may have to see if one of those areas that, again, I discussed, or maybe other areas that you have questions about, is a good fit for you and what you're looking for. I hope at this point you did not forget about making your guess about which area does everyone has their eyes on. Don't forget to leave it in the comments below, but also we still have 2 more areas to cover, and you are going to want to hear the next one. Moving on to the 4th area, it's Pittsboro. Now this is an area that sits far west of Raleigh. In fact, it's even a little bit further than Chapel Hill, and this is one of those places that honestly is only going to get a lot of eyeballs and attention because of the news of Disney. If you didn't know already, Disney just recently announced that they will be planning their little, community. It may not be little, quite frankly. I don't know why I just said that, but they will be planning a community to have in that area. Now, Pittsboro has already started to develop, start having plans, their own conversations. So Disney coming into the fact of saying that we're going to be putting our foot on the ground as well in that Raleigh area it's impeccable for that Pittsboro growth that's going to take place in a matter of time. Taking a peek now at the infamous Pittsboro, where we know Disney's going to be the resource to it all the push. We can take a look to see what's going on with the elementary school level, top 5 in the city. And I'd be very shocked if this has a lot too. So yeah, not too big of a city or a town, whatever you want to call it. But there you have it. So it's not that much going on there. Maybe this is one of those areas that I think this is all public school too. Well, this is charter. Okay, so they mix it up. You can go from the elementary to charter. Okay, so that's that. Of course, high school, there's only one, so that's the only one that's going to really prepare one for college. So there you have it. And if you guys want, again, you guys can go ahead and check a look at their profile specifically to see what's going on there if you really want to get into detail of it. And then we have number 5, last but not least, Windell, which Windell is one of those areas that is currently under development, and in fact it's getting a lot of more attention. So if you're looking for something that's newer, new construction, these in that area specifically, you'll find a ton of them. Nonetheless, I can even make a comparison. So since you stayed to this point, I'll drop a little bonus for you guys. You can also look at Zebulon, which is very similar to that Windell. They're smaller fields, smaller town fields, but they do have an up and coming growth development kind of sense going. If anything, this, you know, the Windell and Zebulon, making that comparison to Clayton and maybe even your Fuquay, I can honestly see more time and attention going into the Windell and Zebulon first, because that's currently where everything is being developed, at least on the houses on the standpoint. But it's one of those areas where you're not going to have too much to do, just quite frankly, because you're about a half hour or so from the Raleigh area. So most of your time and attention, if you need to be in that, Windell or Zebulon, if you have that preference, just know there's not going to be too much. But of course, you still have the Raleigh market to kind of feed off of if you ever need to have some sort of excitement in your life. But you may be even looking at everything like, well, Knightdale is even closer. It is, in fact. Personally speaking, if you're, like I mentioned, if you're looking for newer, I would go Windell, Zebulon, and Zebulon is the bonus I dropped it for you guys. So, but if you're looking for something that's going to be a little bit closer proximity to Raleigh area, then you might want to look at Knightdale. Not as much new construction going on just there quite yet. Who knows, may happen in the future. Now we got Windell. Let's go ahead and take a look at their schools. And you can see here, the schools speak for itself. Then we got the middle schools. And last but not least, the high schools. And I'm not going to jinx myself, so there's nothing that made it here. So that's interesting. But I did mention Zebulon, so because I mentioned it, I think I'll just go ahead and, even though this is a bonus, I'll go ahead and give you guys this as a favor. Here's the elementary schools. Here are the middle schools. Almost jumped the gun there. And last but not least, the high schools. And another one, so Windell or Zebulon does not have anything for their high school. So let's do this here. All right, let's make a comparison. So if we're looking at Windell, which is in Wake County, let's see how their high school ranks in terms of college readiness. Their high school ranks as college readiness. That's a 5. That's 7. So even if it's not listed there, I wouldn't take it for what it is, simply because we can see it. There was nothing there, but it's ranked an 8, and this is ranked a 7. So at least both of them should have shown, but for whatever reason, it didn't. Now you have all the information down from the area to the schoolings. And I'm not even the type of person to really pressure anybody or use fear tactics to get you to do something that doesn't make sense for you. But the reality is, these are areas that's growing right now, a lot of eyes and intentions, whether it's just individuals who are looking to move there, whether it's just new development going on, and even developers having their eyes and attention on these areas. But they're growing faster than you can think, and honestly, it's going to be a matter of time before we all can take a blink and realize this is going to be the new reality of what it all looks like. So if you're thinking about moving to any of these places, just understand, as I mentioned already earlier, there's going to be some pain along the way, but I think the reward is going to be greater than that pain if you can sustain it just for now. But if you wait, all I have to say is good luck. Now it's time for you to guess, which area do you think everyone has their eyes on? Let's drop it in the comments below. But now you get to hear my guess, and it is Pittsboro. And if you're still seeking for more areas that you should keep your eyes on, be sure to watch the video at the end that's going to talk about the 3 areas that is getting ready to boom. But just as much as I enjoy making these videos for you guys, my name is Roney Polynice, and I would love nothing more but the opportunity to be able to assist you on your relocation needs. So you see that number that is popping up right there? Make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, day or night, heck, maybe even on the weekends. Always remember one thing: I got your back in this market.